What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Brown Fox Podcast. My name is Matt, and alongside me, as always, once again, Joseph. How are you, man?
Yeah, good. I've kind of forgotten which one's the main camera now. So I looked at one of them and then I realized that wasn't the one to look at.
We had this conversation last time. I have an idea. Let's look directly in the middle of the two.
Got it.
Cool. So, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another podcast, episode 15. We're climbing up in the episodes. Time flies when you're having a good time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, are you having fun?
I'm having a great time. Yeah. No, I'm really loving it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And thank you again for allowing us to do this podcast within the business.
Hey, this is your baby. So, was listening to your old podcast just before to get some inspiration. So
get it off the screen. Get out of here.
You've definitely had your fair share of experience before we started this one.
I wouldn't say that. It was a bit of a...
In the presence of greatness right now.
Yeah.
Podcast host extraudinaire.
No. You also have another podcast with your brother. So
the annual podcast.
Yeah. What an episode a year?
Nah. 3 or 4.
That's all right. How you feeling? Feeling good?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, better than ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
absolutely nothing. I can breathe normally at the moment.
Cannot complain.
No, not complaining.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm just completely congested at the moment, but
that's good.
Nothing like that at all.
Well,
so,
we're good. That's good. Without further ado, hopefully this will make you feel a little bit better.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yes. A little bit of this. I'm not sure if you've come prepared, Earl, but...
Are you prepared?
Yeah, of course. Always. Of course I am.
Well, firstly... Yes, got it.
There it is.
Got the time. All right.
There it is. Look, as always, it's dad joke of the week time, and Josh is dancing behind the camera.
We were supposed to have a producer mic.
I forgot. Next time, guys. So Josh is behind the camera. We're gonna have a producer mic. So it's gonna be a bit of fun. But
it's so that they could see this.
Should be a film, yeah. Multicam. Today's dad joke of the week that I came up with, found on the internet. Very original. I'm afraid for the calendar. Its days numbered.
Solid, man. Solid.
It's spur of the moment.
That was good.
Spur of the moment sort of joke.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Off the cuff, do you have one?
Look, I had one about a pizza.
Okay, cool.
But never mind. It was too cheesy.
That was a good one. I think you got me beat this week. That was good.
I think yours was pretty good, yeah.
That was all right. It's good. Days are numbered. I'm worried about the calendar, That's all right.
It's time's running out.
Yeah, 100%. Just like this this segment. No.
Just like our audience retention now.
All 5 people. No, how's your week been?
Yeah, look. What day is it? Don't even know.
Tuesday.
So, yeah.
Tuesday today.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Start of the week.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow, then it's the middle of the week and that's probably the end of the week.
That's a fair assumption. That's a fair assumption. Yeah.
How's yours?
Yeah. No, it's been good. It's been good. It's a bit of shooting this morning.
What were you shooting?
Just out the gun range. Just shooting some pigeons and
right,
rabbits.
Okay.
No, we were shooting a testimonial video for our good friends at 8 Ball Media.
Oh, shooting some people.
Keep it down.
Context.
Context is key. No, we had a good little shoot this morning. 2.5 hour shoot, which was good.
Yep.
And looking forward to tackling that edit. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. And apart from that, just busy, getting ready for some upcoming big projects and just wrapped on another big project, editing. So
well done.
Oh,
well done.
It's a team effort. It's a team effort, guys. Look, thank you once again, everyone, for joining us on today's episode, whether you're watching and listening or just listening. That's, we really appreciate you. And we also appreciate all the feedback we've been getting and comments and whatnot. And so definitely off the bat, we'd love you to keep that up. Keep on commenting down below. And
still waiting on mail, fan mail.
Yeah.
Haven't received any yet.
That'll be the day when we receive fan mail.
Have a mailbag segment.
Yeah.
Really good.
Lock bag. No.
Yeah.
No, but I'd love to really today talk about the way that businesses anyone can utilize video in a way that really saves time in many different ways with many different videos that they can use. So I think let's just start off by Joe giving us, myself, Josh, the viewers, your thoughts on just a bit of an introduction of how you think or the power of and the importance of that video can have in terms of utilizing video to save time. And then I think it'll be good to touch on the different types, those different types of videos that are out there that can really, save time.
True. So right now we're recording a video, which means we're having this conversation, and essentially we don't have to have the same conversation again. We could just show people what we recorded.
Yeah.
So at its core, I think we, speak a lot of this when I'm around people who don't really know why video is powerful. And it's because video essentially replaces the time, like you said, the time and the space that it takes for anyone to show or communicate a message.
Yeah.
To say something, to show something, you do it once, you record it, and you've got that now forever. You know what I mean? So if you recorded a podcast, now, like I said, this podcast lives on in perpetuity unless, it falls off the internet somehow. If we recorded some behind the scenes, you can forever see what we did to set up a shoot, for example. So the application of this can go so many different ways depending on a business or an organization and what they need to essentially automate. There's cases that come to mind of, just hearing of cafes, for example, when they're training the new staff, they'll maybe do a tour around the premise and show them how to lock and how to unlock things. And then they'll record a video, do it once, and then you don't have to do it again. And, just the concept of that video will replace the time it takes to do an action or communicate a message. That's really what it comes down to. And that can be applied anywhere in so many different ways. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I think training videos in itself, whether it be for us or other videos that we've made or that we've seen, I think training videos are a really big one, especially when onboarding like new staff members and stuff like that. I think personally we've really wanted to dive into more screen recordings for ourselves so that when we do bring people in for editing or new staff members, rather than explaining the same thing 20 times, we point them to that video that we only needed to record once. And made sure that when we did record it was in depth so that it's everything they need to know in, say, a 15, 20-minute video or less. It saves time.
100%. And that's because we're in the industry of creating video, that's what we're doing essentially, is what we're actually doing is we're giving people their time back, whatever the message is that needs to be communicated. When we went out and filmed today, we filmed a testimonial video, which, tells this story that someone doesn't have to sit down and re-explain time and time again, because instead of going, hey, person, without, giving away names, can you tell this other person what you did for us? We record the video, tell the story well, and now that is done. That message goes out in perpetuity. Depending on how you use it or how you want to actually, again, you got to use it. You can't just record it and it sit there and expect it to do things. You have to actually implement it because it's a tool. But we can talk on multiple ways I think that business can utilize it. For example, there's an upcoming shoot that I'll be involved with potentially on Thursday, so a couple of days from now. And the purpose of that shoot will be to train internal trainers of a fitness club how to run through their movement. So what looks like a good movement, so that they now have that as a reference for ever. And these guys have, almost 100 gyms, I think, across Australia and other countries. And so you can imagine the sheer amount of trainers that they have to onboard for each different place. And they're all over the place. They're not like you could just go and travel to, here and there quickly. Whereas the video can go there like that, make the video, send it.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter what time zone they're in, what part of the world they're in. They see that and they should get the video, the message in the video.
Yeah, and I love that. And again, that's the same for any sort of instructional videos. And if we're speaking personally for us both, in terms of, golf videos, we're getting into golf. We're really trying to, we pride ourselves on being amateur golfers. And we've talked about this before in episode 13, I think, a few episodes ago, but one guy in particular, Rick Shields, golf lessons in person would probably be a good idea, but
100%.
But for now we're okay with just watching the same video 20 times on how
literally
to fix a
that's
slice.
what you do. You just go and repeat that same
Literally.
section, and I still can't get it. So anyway, it's not the video's fault; it's my fault at that point.
It's our fault. But it saves time for that person, Rick Shields, or anyone
100%.
in any industry, creating a video and then putting it out, and thousands, millions of people can watch that video. And it only took that person who made the video, as well as in the video, to do it once.
Yeah, I think building on that as well, because you kind of gave me this thought and probably tie into something else that you wanted to talk about. But I actually believe, because nowadays, nowadays the world is digital and the messages, the attention is on social media specifically, but also video on social media. And if you just look at top performers in the world in their field, if they are really keen on spreading their influence, they'll do it by creating content, and specifically a lot of video content. You'll see it everywhere, because if you're on socials, you'll know what I mean. It's essentially like, if you know that you have to have a platform where you need to speak to many people, you will create videos for many reasons, but at the end of the day, you're actually replacing the time and the space that it requires for you to have this influence. Sorry, congestion. Like, I can think of so many different people who do this well, and the trend is, if you believe in you having a platform to influence people now, then you will create video content to match that. Because there's no other faster way to get your influence out into the world. There's a conference that I'll be heading to next week, for example. It's a church conference, and there's an international speaker who is highlighted at this conference. But the truth is, he's not actually going to be there. He actually pre-recorded an interview, which would have been done very well, I'm assuming. But now he doesn't have to travel here. I know it's to some people, it might sound like a bit of a cop-out, but the truth is, he's a busy guy. He probably has a mix of priorities depending on what he needs to do with his time. So he's made essentially the decision that his time in that moment is probably more valuable doing something else at the end of the day. So he recorded a video to replace the influence that he still needs to have, he still can have, but now he doesn't have to necessarily travel thousands of miles and cross time zones and everything. He can still have a level of influence, not exactly the same as being there in person, but it's decent.
It's better than nothing at all.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's still, I believe, will still have real power and value for everyone that is in the room, watching that video. And we recognize, and we were talking about this earlier off podcast, off mic, but we were talking about earlier, like, people's time is really valuable. Like, people really value their time. And at the moment, we can just see it, even with ourselves, obviously, but everyone's just so busy and sorry, sorry, caught me off guard there. Sorry. You got me rattled now.
The congestion didn't allow me to get a full yeah. It just went.
Sorry, you got me rattled
man.
there. Sorry, that was.
Ruben, you got to cut this too.
No, I don't know. I think that's where the estate. Josh is gone. Everyone's gone. I'm so sorry.
I can't breathe.
But everyone on the podcast is like, carry on, guys.
Yeah,
no.
come on.
But we recognize that everyone's time is just super valuable.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than, stuffing people around and seeing them repeat the same things and going through the same processes over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Rather, let's introduce them to how they can best utilize video.
Yep.
Let's show them that they only really need to do something in front of a camera, or an interview or whatever video it might be, whatever type of video it might be. the one time, let us or them or whoever take care of the editing, putting it all together, cut, and then it's done. And then you don't have to worry about, having to repeat yourself over and over again. Rather, hey, check out this video.
Yeah.
And it goes, sorry. And it also applies to, and I think this is where we could maybe start talking about the different types of videos that really help to save time. The first one is, something we've talked about before, video business cards, brand stories, brand video messages. If you want, someone or a potential customer to know anything about your business, rather than explaining to them in 5-10 minutes about your business and how they can get in touch with you, how they're different from others, and everything they need to know, rather direct them to a video.
Yep.
And many times, I think probably on every meeting that you have with a client or a customer, I can hear you. You're always mentioning, if you haven't already, check out our video business card. It'll in 2.5 minutes shows you everything you need to know.
Yeah, and
that saves time.
That does, exactly. Especially when it's the first time that someone's hearing about your business, you can, especially if they're not really, I wouldn't say interested, but they're just trying to learn some surface level information.
Yep.
Imagine if you could capture their attention and actually give them a wow factor in a couple of minutes. That would probably take you a long time to do if you just had to sit down and go, here's my story, here's what we did, this is how we got to this point, You're missing the opportunity to, again, because people's attention spans are so short. So if you can get something that gets that message and experience across the line very quickly, the people who want to know more will ask to know more.
Yeah.
If they don't care, if they're not ready for it, then at least you've left them a good impression, right? Because at the end of the day, perception is reality. When you see something, you think it's real, even if you're not ready for it, or if it's not really for you. If you see it, it's a first impression. Why not have a really good first impression of your business through a video?
Exactly.
Like I presented at our business group last week, and for a lot of visitors in the room, they hadn't heard about Brown Fox or myself before. They might have heard about video. They might already be making video, but I said, all right, let's quickly watch this 2.5 minute video out of my 8-minute presentation. And this should give you enough of an idea of whether you think we're worth working with, or if you were worth even, referring to someone else. It may not necessarily sell everyone there and then because there's more to it. There's a journey that people have to go to work with someone. But imagine as well, if there was someone who was ready to buy, ready to get some videos done, and they're just looking for the right fit.
Yep.
And they see this concise video, they know exactly what to do next, and they get in touch. So saves all this time of you, of me, or whoever it is having to explain what we do.
Exactly.
It's just, like you said, it's done.
It's done. And you know what I found also really cool? You just mentioned that you did a presentation at your business network group last week. And obviously you showed that video, but you also recorded the presentation as well.
And I recorded the presentation. So
thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
But that's, again, saving time, and you can then show that video as well in itself to people.
Again, there is a really important thing to note here, is that you have to understand the value of video, like what it does, because every high performing person that I know of in this current day and age uses video.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what they're doing or what they're saying. They could be doing things we don't agree with. They could be, doing whatever. But the bottom line is they've all learned how to use video to replace their time and put it on exponential scale.
Yeah.
It's so scalable.
Yeah.
You can't duplicate yourself. You can't be in two places at once, but you can be if there's a video of you in two places at once.
Because, touching on that, we'll go back to the conference you're going to and the international pastor who isn't able to be there, but recorded a message or whatever it is via video. That can be shown at multiple locations or at the same time. It goes for anyone,
Exactly.
Without physically being there, unless you somehow clone yourself. Get in touch if you know how to do that. But
love to
that'd be
love
awesome.
to video that.
That'd be nice. No, but without physically being there, able to be shown at different locations at the same time, and power of video.
100%.
in that way.
So brand video is very important.
Yeah, 100%. There was another type of video that I think is a real time saver that people in businesses, organizations can utilize is frequently asked question videos. And I think we touched on these in either 13 or 14, episode 13 or 14, but frequently asked question videos. You know, you record a video and we've just finished recording a bunch of video content for a client. She was basically answering frequently asked questions, which then will save her time with answering the same question 20 times. Rather, check out this video on the question that you're asking.
Yeah. I don't know how well this ties into a bigger explanation. So if whoever's watching understands the customer journey, understands the stages of how you learn about a business and then buy from them.
Yep.
I'm making gestures that you'll only see on a video, but it's a funnel, right?
Yep.
And if you can imagine this funnel, at the very top of the funnel is the first time you hear about a business.
Yep.
And ideally you want that, like I was saying before, the brand video and everything, you want that first impression to really count, because that might be the first time they've heard of you and they may have never seen you or heard of you before. You want that first impression to matter. You want them to buy in with something that grabs their emotions, because that's where they're first thinking. They're thinking emotionally there. What you're saying there is the frequently asked questions. If you picture this funnel narrowing down, someone hears about you, they like you potentially, and they're interested in learning more, making sure you're a good fit. This is where you're doing a lot of the objection handling of why you may not be a good fit for them, or why you may be a good fit. So in a frequently asked question, it's like if you imagine being in a sales conversation, and there's all these questions people always ask, and that's like the stuff that if they knew the answer to that, then you could essentially sell them or make them go, no, that's not going to work for me. You could save so much of your own time by just creating the videos, have that objection handling content ready to go, and you can, however you want to use it, but it will help them to, again, when they're getting to that point of the funnel where they're thinking more logically and they're going, all right, I like this business, or I like what they're trying to sell. I just don't know if it's for me yet. Let me look a bit further and start to think really rationally and logically, doing all their research, their due diligence. That's the kind of content that, like, we're currently working on some. That's the kind of content where that'll help.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's a range in the middle. And I think that's kind of what we're talking about for the most part when it comes to this type of, content for businesses. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I really like the way you put that, and the funnel analogy. That's good. And I've heard you talk about that for a little while now to clients, customers, and that's awesome. Yeah. So I wanted to ask a question, and we can both discuss this, but how have you found videos? How have you even found that you've consumed videos in your own personal life? Oh, he's holding the mic.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know why I'm holding it like this.
I like it.
I just felt like picking it up.
That's good. It's good. Remember in episode 9, we were like holding the mic. Yeah, we could do. Yeah. Just changes the pitch of it all. Yeah. Sound like a chipmunk. No, but I wanted us to discuss, even like in our own personal experiences, how we've consumed video that, that would have really saved that person time, or in our own experiences that we've created videos for other people or ourselves or other people, customers, that have really saved time. Yeah. So in your own experience, maybe let's start with how the videos you've even consumed that would have saved the person creating them time. Yep.
100%. So, okay, I'm trying to think about how to address this quickly. Otherwise, this will be a 10-hour podcast.
Say no more.
Because there's another podcast topic in this about the purpose of different platforms and whether the purpose of the platform and why the video type matters there. So I was going to talk about YouTube first, because YouTube it's essentially like a library. You view it as a library. So you're going there, like going to a library to find something that you're interested in being entertained by or being educated by. Yeah. And so I've been to YouTube forever, every single day, to find things that I'm entertained by or that I want to learn about. But I was thinking about a practical aspect. So that is one. I'll park that for a second. I'm just trying to think about my current lawnmower, the person who mows my lawns.
Who does mow your lawns, by the way?
He's a guy called Dean, and his business is the Lawn Mower.
Sneaky plug right there.
Plug for Dean.
Awesome.
In New Zealand, I believe. I think mower is a bird. New Zealand bird? I don't want to get it wrong.
Wouldn't have a clue. You'll have to ask someone in our office.
Hey, yeah. Anyway, I was Googling a couple of years ago now, just because I got sick of mowing my lawn. And I mentioned that to you probably ages ago, and you're like, I'll mow it for you. I'm like, yeah, cool.
I will.
I think the offer still stands. But yeah.
Sounds good.
But I was Googling and just trying to see, lawn mowers and in my area. And not all of them really have a real sense of digital space. A lot of them didn't even have a website. It was just a phone number. So I just did a bit of research.
Yeah.
And funny enough, when I found him, he was well rated. A lot of good ratings on Google, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
And then I found a video on his website, so I watched it.
There you go.
And I went, oh yeah, looks all right. And that's literally, I'm not going to lie,
yeah,
the combination of reading the reviews and then seeing the video, I was like, all right, cool, I'll get in touch.
Yeah.
Because I was also in a position, like I said, in that funnel, I was ready. I was ready to buy. I was just trying to find someone I could connect with. And then as long as the price was right, which it was at the time, I was like, cool, done.
Yeah.
Like it was that much of a pain, it was genuinely a pain point, and I just needed someone to stand out. And
perfect.
I thought, because I was a video producer, I'm like, if someone's creating the video, there must be some level of savvy.
Yeah.
And he seemed like a nice bloke on the video.
Yeah. So is he a nice bloke or?
Yeah, I've had, not that many conversations with him because he comes when I'm not really there.
Ah, okay.
But, gets the job done.
Nice.
And has given me an idea for a future idea. I'll leave that at that. So
there we go.
leave that at that. But no, so real world thing. That's who mows my lawns for the last couple of years.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah. Cool. I think in my own experience, and obviously I've already talked about this earlier in the podcast, but I mean, talking about golf, if wanting to improve my slice, which is an ongoing problem for myself, I feel like I'm constantly watching the same the same types of videos from mainly the same guy, Rick Shields.
Oh, yeah.
If you're watching this, Rick Shields, I don't know if you are, but you're a good man, and we'd love some free gear.
Yeah. Well, just come out give us a training session.
Yeah. Come out to Australia, man. We'd really appreciate it. No, but I think, we've talked about this on another podcast, but he has built that authority on YouTube through the power of video, so that now you search something up about golf and he will nearly guarantee you at least one of his videos will be in the top 5 search results on YouTube, in amongst of thousands, if not millions of golf videos,
Yep.
And that's personal experience.
And so, circling back to the topic of this podcast, is he saves himself time. Obviously, he's making this a lot.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to necessarily re-record. I mean, he can for the algorithm. There's more to it. But all that content's there. As soon as you type in how to fix my slice, he likely shows up because he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Then it works for you. It works for him. The time it takes for you to type in how to fix my golf slice, and you find his video, that saves you time. And then it saves him time because, he could, for whatever, he could be doing whatever he's doing over in England. Oh, sorry. I don't know where he is.
That was nice.
Sorry, mate.
That was
I
awesome.
wrecked that.
That's...
and so, you guys are like, literally have never met each other.
Yeah.
You live on opposite sides of the world. But he could be sipping his tea and you're drinking your coffee.
Yeah.
And you're consuming his content.
They drink tea in England, don't they? I don't know.
I don't know.
We're getting a thumbs up from the producer.
Let me stroke my beard. Oh, don't have one. All right.
That's unfortunate. I can relate. But again, this is kind of veering off a different path of what we were talking about. But as you said, we don't really know each other. But ironically, we've talked about this before. I feel like I do know him. I feel like I've consumed enough of his content, enough of his face, and him as a person, that if I did meet him, I feel like in the whole scheme of things, I don't really know a whole heap about him, like his family, his personal life, whatever. But as him as a golfer, I feel like I know the guy. I feel like I'd be able to, go up to him and be like, hey man, I'm not meeting you for the first time, but I feel like I already know you. I've watched so many of his videos, consumed heaps of his face, you know. Anyways, that's the power of video, and that goes for anything, whether it be him or whether it be, you know, a pastor in the States or someone that you haven't met, and even more personal, you know, even before meeting you for the first time, you know, I consumed a few of your talking head videos on the internet.
Oh, that's scary.
Finally, I find it's good content. I finally met you, and I feel like I've seen this guy a few times. You know, I kind of know a little bit about the guy. So,
sorry, that's me. You consuming the content.
Okay, that's just getting a bit of biting ASMR.
Bit of ASMR.
But you know, when you build that authority and you know, the consumer consumes lots of those videos, you know, it saves them time and you feel like you already, know the guy. I kind of veered off a different path.
No, it's not a different path. I mean, that's the truth. Is it's a dual purpose because it's a dual purpose because you're saving time, and at the end of the day, you're also building relationships. Because, like you said, even though you've never met him, you've spent literally hours watching his face. There's no other way to explain it. But that's what influencers are. When it comes to an influencer on social media, they have influence. They have influence because people are watching them.
Yep.
And how do you watch them? You have to see them on a video. You can't really be that influenced unless they are showing elements of real life.
Yep.
Or elements that draw you in, some education. And this is where video is so powerful. Because again, you know, I can be sitting at home in bed, seeing what my wife is up to. She's on socials, browsing through her feed on Instagram, and she's going through all these like reels of the influencers that she loves looking at her content. And she'll say something about, oh, this person is in this part of the earth or whatever. And I'm like, who in the world is that?
Yeah.
But she feels like she kind of knows these people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So video saves you time to do things with your time, and also saves you time in building relationships. Because again, if you want to have that genuine influence, you can't do it as well as you can if you made video content regularly.
Yeah.
You can't just go out and just meet a million people very quickly.
Yeah.
But you can, to a degree, create videos that eventually get seen by millions of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And again, every single top performer that I've ever seen in this day and age is doing video.
Yep. As simple as that. It's the currency of attention today. Mic drop. And you've said this before. It is quite literally the currency of attention today. And, you know, there's nothing against, you know, other forms of media and marketing, but video is where it's at.
They have their place. So every single part of the whole marketing sphere, or collateral, let's call it collateral. So, because it's just things that give you a message out. So text, all these things, photos, they'll all get the message out.
Yep.
In fact, you know, that's why people write books, and that's why they write blog articles, and those get best sold, and they influence millions of people. But today in the digital space, video is the one that shows people who you are.
Yep.
Very quickly.
Because I feel like, we said this before, video is the closest you can get to, for lack of a better term, real life.
Yeah, being with a person or seeing them in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because it encompasses all those different aspects.
Yeah. So I guess circle again. Back to how could businesses use video to save them time? Just think about where you are already doing the same thing over and over again. And is there an opportunity to just capture this once and use it? Yeah. So obviously you can capture it and do nothing with it.
Yep.
Or you can capture it and use it.
Yep.
So again, real world examples, what we're doing, we're trying to record snippets of, you know, screen recordings when we're trying to do something, editing to show our thought process.
Yep.
You know, to show the way that we do things. So you can go to YouTube and watch a lot of technical things, and we don't want to waste time creating that content that's already out there. So we'll probably collate a lot of the stuff that other people do, but then we have a spin on things. So when we have a spin on things, we'll record something to say, this is how we look at it.
Yeah.
This is how we set up our cameras.
Because there are thousands of videos that they can watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
In terms of just normal tutorials for editing software or cameras, but we have, you know, a bit of a different spin or our unique spin on things, and that's where we will utilize screen recordings of videos, or even if we're on a shoot, we'll get Josh or someone else who's on the shoot to film us how we do certain things on a shoot.
Yeah, I don't know where this pod topic is going to end, because I feel like it'll end soon. But I feel like we can keep building on this.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is that video saves time.
Yes.
I was listening to a podcast about video and using some of the newer platforms like TikTok, for example, and where some people are using it so well by creating content. And this, again, if you're looking at it from my perspective, what am I looking at? I found so many quick tips.
Yeah.
So many quick tips that I've never seen on any other platforms, because people are taking time to make these tips specifically on the new platforms, and it's all in video. They're not making how-to articles like they used to, or some of these things. They're just recording, putting it up, and then, you know, that's how I heard about things like Descript.
Yeah.
You know, this is how I've heard about some of these things, because it's just these short value pieces of content someone decided to make, put it out there, and saves them time, saves me time, saves everyone time. We're all, like you said, we're all busy. We're all doing stuff. I hate the word busy, but anyway, drop it in there. We're living very full lives, and everything is crazy. There's ways to save time on some things.
Yeah.
Record some videos.
100%. I think a big question to ask yourself, whether you're the CEO, head of business, your business, company, organization, is how much do you value your time?
Ooh,
that's mic drop. That's very cliche. It's very cliche.
No, but it's true.
But it's true. It's because it's true, and it's how much do you value your time? And yes, when, you know, recording the video or interview or instructional video, yes, it may take a little bit of time, because, you know, might take a couple of different takes to get the best from you. But then think of how much time that will save in the long run.
Yeah. I was going somewhere with that whole podcast I listened to, and it just came back to mind. I don't even remember what the company is, but there's essentially a company that does something that people go out and, like, technicians go out and install, or they do something, and they've implemented into their systems now that the technicians, they're not videographers. They don't have any camera training or anything, but they've been instructed now that at the end of every install, they'll walk up and ask the client, can I record you for a couple seconds on our phone? Just give us, you know, how was the experience? What did you like about this? What do you think of our product? And this company, with, you know, however many dozens of technicians going around doing this at people's homes, at scale, they are now collecting all of these testimonials, real testimonials on the ground, and they've really learned how to use video. That's it. Like, who's going to go around and you know, who's going to go around and find out after the fact what the testimonial is that someone, I mean, people can do that, but what's the most efficient way? Is like, they're right there.
Yeah, exactly.
They've trained their guys. They're not videographers. They just go up and record the content, and it's real. Yeah. And now they've got the testimonial.
Exactly. And it can be as simple as that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's obviously, you know, having a video production company to take care of the videos.
Now that's another topic. That's another topic. When do you think, when should you use a video production company? And I've got thoughts on that.
100%.
That's another topic.
Well, but it can be as simple as just going around on your phone, hitting record, and asking, you know, just a few questions. Yeah. You know?
Like, just for example, right? Like, on this podcast right now,
here we go.
You guys watching this don't actually know what's happening behind the camera, but now you do.
Oh, bit of multicam.
Say hey, Josh.
Hello.
What do you think about the power of using video?
It's amazing. It's transformative. I would say highly suggested. Yeah. Great.
Give us a dance move.
We will get you a mic next time. But yeah, people watching, and obviously some people aren't watching, they're just listening, but people who are watching on YouTube, you would have had no idea unless it was for the video that Joe just did, and it was just on his phone, you know, and that's as simple as it can be. Not all the time, and there are times, and again, we will phone drop, and there are times. Again, you said we'll definitely flesh this out.
That's a new topic.
We'll definitely talk about this on a new podcast, on another podcast, but. There is definitely a time and place where we do see the real value in calling upon a video production company, whether it be us or someone else. But in some cases, though, it can be as easy as taking out your phone, hitting record, done, social media, Facebook, Instagram, even YouTube. And there's real power and value in that. Saves time.
Real power.
Real.
Instagram, real. Okay, sorry. Pun fail.
He always picks up on my puns and I don't even pick up. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's a good one. I like it.
I know, just punishing you for all the times that you miss them.
That's fair. And with that, guys, I think that's that's a perfect punishing. Yeah, cool. Anyways, Any final thoughts on what we've been talking about today on the real saving time that video can have?
No, I think we covered it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Watch the video to learn more.
Yeah.
Well, you already watched it, hopefully, if you got to this part.
If you've made it up to this point, we thank you so much.
Thank you.
As always, guys, definitely comment down below anything else you'd love us to talk about, video related or non-video related. And
Matt's lifting routine.
Every time, man. Every time. Look, I'll stick to my nightly runs at the moment, and then we'll go from there. But definitely comment down below anything you'd like us to cover, any questions or concerns you may have with anything in terms of utilizing video or anything in terms of the power of video. Josh is really putting me off by dancing behind the camera, but that's okay. Any final thoughts?
Like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube.
What about if they're on Spotify?
Can you like on Spotify? You can follow.
Yeah, you can
on
follow
Spotify.
Yeah.
And I guess share the link.
For sure. We thank you guys so much for tuning in today's episode, and we'll see you very soon in episode 16. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you guys soon. Fox is out.